One of the clearest measures of any society is how it treats its weakest members, the poor, the sick, and the dying. It says something about us, then, that assisted suicide is rising in popularity in America. In 7 states, plus the District of Columbia, sick patients are now allowed to kill themselves with the help of a physician. This is called compassion, but it's easy to see what is actually going on. Killing sick people is now just as valid as treating them. Our most vulnerable have become our most disposable. Now, a lot of people who back this do so for good reasons. They're decent people. It's not impugning the integrity of everyone who's for assisted suicide. But take 3 steps back. You think an insurance company would rather pay for years of cancer treatment or a suicide pill? Maybe that's part of what's going on here. Kristen Hanson is with the Patients' Rights Action Fund, and she joins us tonight. Kristen, thanks very much for coming on. So you've seen this firsthand. Tell us what you think the rise in assisted suicide is really about.
Well, my husband, J.J. Hanson, was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer back in 2014, and he dedicated the last 3 years of his life to fighting the legalization of assisted suicide, because we saw that it puts those who are most vulnerable at risk for losing their lives to mistakes, coercion, and abuse.
Yes. So the financial incentives to kill people rather than treat them are so overwhelming that why wouldn't we slide very quickly down that slippery slope?
These laws create perverse incentives for health insurance companies to deny patients the care that they need and offer assisted suicide instead. Being JJ's caregiver, I was constantly going to battle with our health insurance company to get them to cover the treatments JJ needed. And we had good health insurance, and assisted suicide wasn't legal in our home state of New York. And what we're seeing in states that have legalized assisted suicide is that that's exactly what's happening. Health insurance companies are denying patients coverage for the care they need and offering assisted suicide instead. That's not a choice. Death is not compassionate care. When assisted suicide becomes legal, it will always be the cheapest medical treatment.
And you've got to think that sick people, and particularly the terminally ill, will feel some kind of obligation to suicide to spare their families the financial cost, or they're going to come under pressure from insurers to kill themselves. I mean, are there people looking out for sick patients to keep the insurance companies at bay in this case?
So proponents of assisted suicide insist that there are adequate safeguards, but what JJ and I saw is that these laws abandon vulnerable patients like JJ, who can experience depression at any point following their diagnosis.
Right.
If you look at Oregon,
yes.
If you look at Oregon, the state that this has been legalized the longest in the United States, pain and suffering never makes it into the top 5 reasons why patients are choosing assisted suicide. Their main end-of-life concerns are fear of being a burden, loss of autonomy, inability to do the things that they used to enjoy. And those are all valid end-of-life concerns, but they're not reasons to kill yourself.
Exactly. No, that is exactly right. Thank you for reminding us of that and reminding us that we have a duty to love people even as they're dying. Kristen, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you for having me on the show.